Hello, everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is Monday, April 17th. Now, we just have one meeting that we needed to tell you about, but it has been canceled. It is the Broadband Ad Hoc Committee, and that has been canceled, so that won't be happening. And on our show today, we have the Salvation Army Major, Nursan Kistan, and he's got some great information about a new center that they're building and some great stories of people that they have helped. Then we have from the City of Hope, Orange County, Dr. Frank Munoz, who is a chaplain and a scientist. And he's going to tell us how he marries the two to help people along with their cancer treatments. Okay, let's take a look at our weather. Well, we're still, on and off with some of the clouds, mostly in the morning, but we'll be partly cloudy, 66, 51, 64, 50, 65, 50. Then we have sunshine, 68, 53, and then sunny again, 71, 54. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:21, and our sunset will be at 7:23. And I chose this photo of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, France, and you can see that they have the blossoms, and so that has been very popular across Instagram and on social media, so I thought I would share that with you today. Now, just as a reminder, Landscaping and Maintenance will be installing a new sprinkler system. The new cloud-based system, HydroPoint Weather Track system, uses reliable cellular communication, as do all the modern control systems. And it's going to save a ton of money. They're going to get $350,000 in rebates. So that is great news. All right, when we come back, we will have the Army Major from the Salvation Army. Stay tuned.
The Salvation Army Orange County is committed to building hope in people's lives rather than just more shelters. The Center of Hope, a comprehensive homeless care solution, combines a 325-bed emergency shelter, 72 permanent supportive housing apartments, on-site medical, dental, vision, and mental health care, and an award-winning drug and alcohol rehabilitation center. Donate today to transform lives, create safer neighborhoods, and provide an opportunity to end chronic homelessness in Orange County.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Army Major Nursan Kistan, and he is here on behalf of the Salvation Army. I got it right.
Oh, you have nailed it. I'm thinking, wow, Lisa, excellent, yes.
Every time, every time. Well, thank you for joining us again. We appreciate you coming in. And, we had you on last month, and we talked a lot about, the Center of Hope, what you do for the community. And I forgot to ask you a question about the Center of Hope. I want you to tell me, when is it going to be completed? You
know what? That's the million-dollar question. No pun intended. Well, we are pretty close. We're probably 75% there with our funding. Okay. We've raised about $14 million on the final phase. We've broken down the Center of Hope project in 3 phases. Okay. As you can see, there's 3 parts to this campus. Mm-hmm. And so we're in the final stage. We're probably about $5 to $6 million away from achieving our goal. So as soon as we complete our fundraising campaign, we are ready to complete that next part of the building.
And you're on the road a lot, I think.
Oh, we are on the road a lot.
That's good, that's good. And we'll talk a little bit later about how you can help them out with that campaign. So let's briefly tell everyone about what you guys do, Salvation Army as a whole.
You know what? The Salvation Army does 3 critical things. And the number one thing on our list is helping homeless people find hope again. Right. Because you know what? Everyone knows someone that's been homeless. I think now most Americans have come to terms with the reality that we're facing a chronic homeless crisis across our nation. Mm-hmm. And before the pandemic, it was the number one issue, and it still is. So we help homeless people, we help people in addiction. Drug and alcohol addiction has been part of what we've done for the last 150 years, and we help people that have suffered the ills of human trafficking.
Yeah, and I did hear that that's a real issue, even here in Orange County, where you would never know. You would never know that that's a problem, but it is a serious problem. You know, on the screen we have a picture of a woman who is an adult, and I know many times people think, well, if they don't need to help me, or they're not going to help me, or they're not going to help my aunt or whatever, but that's not the case. You help all ages and many older folks.
You know what, the Salvation Army has seen a lot of older folks suffering the plight of homelessness, tragically, for various reasons. So yes, we do help all people. In fact, at our shelter currently, we have 3 generations of the same family we're helping.
Oh my.
So, and the crazy thing about it, or the alarming thing about it, is that none of them know each other. So we have a son, a father, and a grandfather at our facility in Anaheim right this very moment in time. And the tragedy is we're seeing generations impacted by the cycle of homelessness.
Oh my.
And that to me is alarming.
So how do you handle 3 different generations all in the same location?
Well, we treat them like we treat anyone. So we don't discriminate. We're not there to work out what we should do and what the politics of it is. We simply just treat the person as we see them. We give every human being their dignity. We give every individual their space, their privacy, and we just help them find their way forward in life. Because at the end of the day, everyone deserves hope.
Yeah. And you have a shelter that we talked about last time, and it is in Anaheim. And you know, one thing I find really interesting, some people say the homeless don't want help. There are many of them that don't want help. They just want to stay on the street. What do you say to that?
Well, I will say there's some truth to that. There are some individuals that don't want help. And we know that from even our own personal interactions. There's some people you can't help. But I would say that percentage of the people that we can't help is very small. I would say it's arguably about 25 to 30% of the population, homeless population, that you can't help. And you're probably never going to help.
Yeah.
But here's the flip side of that. There's 70% and plus that we can help.
Right.
So I've learned in life, you work with those who want to be helped.
Right.
And so we're focusing on 70% of the population that we certainly can help.
Right. Do you have a story where maybe you thought somebody didn't want help, and maybe they didn't the first time you tried, but then you tried again?
Oh, I know the story so well because I see the story each and every day that I walk into my office. And this is the story of Cindy. Cindy's story is incredible. In fact, it took Cindy more than 3 attempts to get her life back. The first time she came in for help, Cindy knew it all. You know, street smart, street wise, didn't want to be told anything, arrogant, chip on her shoulder, pushed her weight around, tried to be the domineering individual she was. And you know what? Within a few weeks, she found herself back on the streets. Cindy came back a second time, a little bit more humble this time, but still with a chip on the shoulder, still arrogant, still know-it-all. Same issues happened, and she lasted a few months longer, and then back on the streets. The third time, Cindy said, I know you won't take me back again. And I said to Cindy, Cindy, you know what? When Jesus said, how many times should I forgive my brother? And the answer was 7 times, because that's what the law demanded. I said, Cindy, Jesus responded 70 times 7. There is no limit to our grace, no limit to our mercy. And so Cindy came back the 3rd time. This time, totally different. Different spirited. And I can tell you, Cindy now has been working with us as a Salvation Army. She's my receptionist at my front of my desk. Her story reminds me each and every day why it's important to do what we do.
Right. That's excellent. That's excellent. Now, veterans. We have lots of veterans on our street, and it's really concerning to so many people. How can they end up there?
Well, when you come back from the conflict of war, when your mental health is so debilitating, where your family consider you dangerous, your loved ones consider you dangerous because of your lack of stability. We see so many veterans. We see so many of them struggling with chronic mental health issues. And we all know them because we see their faces. So yes, we do help veterans, and it is one of the things we appreciate the most, because these are the men and women that have served our nation. It's not enough to stand at the baseball game and salute and cheer our veterans. It's not enough to say we are concerned about their plight and cheer them when we see them. We need to do better.
Right.
And so the Salvation Army is committed to creating spaces to help them in their rehabilitation, mental and physical. Help them to find their place back in our society and once again find hope. So yes, we're passionate about helping our veterans, helping our older folk who've been thrown out of their homes or have found themselves disconnected from their loved ones because of a fight or a feud or a relationship breakdown. We're committed to helping our aging population because we're finding that number is alarmingly high.
Now, I know you mentioned that you don't really get involved in the politics when someone comes into the shelter, but do you have people that work with our politicians to let them know, here are the numbers, we're on the street, we need you to start acting on some of this and help our people?
We are. You know, the Salvation Army doesn't make it public because we're apolitical. So we don't take a political side or have a political agenda. But we do speak to our politicians because they're often asking us what are our thoughts or opinions. And we're not backwards in telling them what we think. So we will tell them truthfully what are the challenges. And it's more than just funding. We need significant resources getting to the front line.
Right.
See, a lot of our resources gets clogged up in the mire of bureaucracy. Here's where the Salvation Army is best. And I said this recently. Politicians can't solve our problem. They're just not tasked to. They're not wired to. They're not structured to. But we're not being arrogant, but we believe wholeheartedly that the Salvation Army has a solution to homelessness.
Okay.
We do. We believe we have a solution.
Well, and you've certainly showed it with your new center and the efforts that you're making so far, so good stuff. Let's talk about how people can help. Now, of course, they could monetarily help you, but there are so many other ways. And there is a thrift store right down the street here in Lake Forest.
Yes, there is. So you can definitely help us. Bring your loved, cherished possessions that you don't no longer need. Bring those outfits that are fitting you maybe a little bit too snug lately.
Or wait, how about too big?
Oh, too big. That's right. If you've lost weight, I haven't. I'm putting it on. But bring those things because the Salvation Army definitely uses it. In fact, every thrift store, 100% of everything that is sold and as generated income goes straight back to helping our treatment centers, people suffering substance abuse.
Right.
So yes, please engage with us. Bring your loved possessions. We will take them.
And then, of course, there's also another way where you can call the Salvation Army and they will come and pick up a lot of things that others will not pick up.
Well, Lisa, unfortunately, when COVID hit us, we had to make some adjustments and changes to our systems.
Okay.
So we're not picking up anymore. But we have many avenues and points, just like you said, just down here at Lake Forest, where you can bring your loved possessions and we will receive them and accept them because that would be helpful for us too.
Fantastic. And there's also fundraising that people can do on behalf of Salvation Army where you could maybe get one of those donation boxes, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
There are so many ways you can partner with us in investing. And you know, I said this the last time we met together, Lisa. 84 cents of every dollar people invest goes straight back the front line in helping people as they need it. That's a great return on your investment. And we desperately need people to invest with us and partner with us. And there's other ways. You can give us through your IRA or your DAF. You know, there are ways in which the Salvation Army can help you. So you don't just need to give us a cash donation.
Right.
There are other means in which you can invest with us.
Well, there's also other ways too where people could volunteer.
Oh, we love volunteers. You've got a gift and a skill and you have a profession. You may even be retired or you may know someone that want to work with us. We would love for you to volunteer. We don't just need your financial investment. We need your time. We need your resources, your skills, your mind. So come and help us. And you will have fun with us. We're fun people.
Well, I love it. And you know, on the screen you guys have here, there's a couple of different things that you're currently looking for. Is you would like people to help at the Anaheim Food Pantry. And if you happen to be sports and music instructors, they are looking for those folks for their after-school program.
You know what, Lisa, you said it better than I do. We need plenty of people, you know, diverse levels of skills, talents, and ability. Don't ever feel you can't help us.
Excellent.
We'll find a way to put you to work.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for all the information. I really appreciate it. If you want more information about anything that we have discussed here, or you just want to know more about the Salvation Army, you can go to orangecounty.salvationarmy.org. We'll be right back.
City of Hope is speeding cancer research and treatment to Orange County.
Go get a second opinion, third opinion. Go see somebody who has the expertise, because nowadays there is just so much research in every type of cancer that it's hard for one doctor to keep up to date with all the novel therapeutics and et cetera. So I think it's extremely, extremely important.
Welcome back. Well, today I have Dr. Frank Munoz here on behalf of the City of Hope. Well, welcome. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Now, when I was looking at your title, chaplain scientist, and I was thinking, you know, what a great conversation starter, because it encompasses so much. So tell me what you have done to get you to this point.
Great. Thank you so much. So I've done a lot of research in mind-body medicine, where I've looked at just the realm of spirituality and how that affects the way our body functions. So mind-body medicine, we focus on the connection between our mental and emotional well-being and our body functioning. And in addition to that, I've added another layer of genetics or genomics.
Okay.
Since our genes are kind of like our managers and directors of our body work, so our brains are like the CEO, and our body's just the organization.
Right.
So an important aspect of our emotional well-being is just spirituality.
Okay.
And I've already met with some patients over at the City of Hope. We just opened our mind-body medicine clinic recently.
Fantastic.
And they share with me how important the religious and spiritual dimension in their life is. So they bring the whole package, they bring everything they have to cope with their cancer diagnosis.
Right, right. Now, were you a chaplain before?
Yes, I started out actually as a military chaplain.
Okay.
And that's where I was introduced to this whole area of bringing a calming presence for trauma patients. So the military has training for their chaplains where they learn how to work with the medical teams in preparation for battlefield.
Okay.
So I trained in trauma center in San Antonio, Texas, and they had an arrangement where they would serve the local citizens. They receive free trauma care, and in return, the military would train their medical teams for combat. And so I had a spot, all the chaplains involved in the training, we had a spot right there at the surgical table, right next to the surgeon.
Wow.
So we were there providing a calming effect for the patient and also for the surgeons and for the medical staff treating them.
Right.
So that laid the foundation for me, and just one thing led to another. And I worked in a pediatric setting, an adult setting, and I wanted to learn more. So I could see, we did have this effect, a calming effect on patients and staff, but I really wanted to learn more. What's happening biologically, what's happening physically, so I could see externally things happening, but I want to learn more about what's happening internally.
Okay.
So I did apply and received 2 and 3, eventually, National Cancer Institute training awards. And so there is where I learned about genomics. I received a PhD in mind-body medicine, and that just opened up a whole new frontier.
Well, I bet. And we were talking a little bit off camera about how it seems like it's taking so long for the medical industry to kind of come along and say, all right, we now need to do alternative medicine. We need to do something a little different. So I'm really happy that you are here applying all of the things that you've learned. And not everybody is spiritual until something happens. And here, of course, people are faced with a horrible situation, yet you're there to help guide them and let them know that it's okay.
Definitely. In clinical chaplaincy, we define spirituality as more of a person's search for meaning, purpose, and hope. And that can take many forms. It could take the form of traditional, historic, religious traditions, or it could be very personalized, based on the individual. It could be based on philosophy, it can be based on art, literature. There's a deep sense of spirituality, even if you look at, like for me, art. When you read about the lives of artists, there's a dimension there that to me kind of resonates with more traditional, religious tradition. So as clinical chaplains, we're trained to move beyond religious tradition and look at the person individually and learn about them and see what brings them purpose, meaning, and hope.
Right.
So what we do is we support that.
And you support that as well as offering some types of treatments. So tell me a little bit about the treatments that you encourage them to try.
So in mind-body medicine, we focus on meditation, variety of techniques which triggers the relaxation response. As you know, we have a parasympathetic nervous system and a sympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system is our fight or flight response. So when we perceive danger, especially something like a cancer diagnosis, that triggers our fight or flight response.
Okay.
So that's where the anxiety and the stress arise. But we also have inner healing resources, which lay within our parasympathetic nervous system. And that's where it brings a balance. So when our fight or flight response is triggered, our blood pressure goes up, our blood recirculates to our large muscle groups. With the parasympathetic nervous system, then we relax and our blood begins to recirculate normally, our breathing becomes normal. And so all the techniques are designed to trigger the parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
And the common denominator is our breath, our breathing.
Sure.
So if we remember, what's the first thing we did when we were born?
Yep, your first breath. That's a really good point. So breathing is important, meditation is important. Do you have other things that you're incorporating in? I mean, meditation doesn't just necessarily have to be sitting there and listening to your breathing. You can incorporate sense of smell, touch, things like that.
So we have guided imagery techniques. We're bringing on board people who can teach yoga.
Great.
Acupuncture.
Fantastic.
Self-hypnosis. There's meditative movement, where there's gentle movements for those people who are having trouble with mobility.
Okay.
There's already adaptations of Tai Chi and Qigong where people can utilize them so that they can have some form of exercise and move their bodies. And we have a lot of former athletes that like to do things of that sort. And they don't like sitting down and doing meditation techniques.
It's hard to keep people sitting at times, right? Especially when you're going through certain things. I mean, of course, they may have to sit for a period of time for any type of oncology work or things like that. But I like the fact that you have these offerings, right? Because it kind of sets you apart from other cancer institutes because they may not have this kind of technology or knowledge.
Yes, I believe we are innovative and we are developing a very formal and intentional program that will offer this array of services for patients. And having met patients already, they are really excited. And they've been waited, as you mentioned earlier, for the medical establishment to come around.
Yeah.
Because they're already searching and they're already reaching out to different places.
Exactly.
And here in Dr. Richard Lee's program, we'll offer evidence-based and patient-safe techniques. So they can incorporate them with their regular medical care.
And you do this on the campus, right?
We can do it on the campus, and we can do it remotely as well.
Oh, good.
Just based on the wishes of the patient.
Wow. Well, that is fantastic news. We appreciate the information. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you want more information about anything that we have discussed, you can always go to the website, cityofhope.org/OC, or you could give them a call at 888-333-HOPE, which is 4673. We'll be right back.
Whether you're tech challenged, use tech daily, or a tech geek like me, my show, Let's Talk Tech, has something for everyone. I'm Debbie Dotson, the host, and each month I bring a variety of information about the world of technology. My content is delivered in a basic way to help all my viewers, no matter what their skill level is with technology. Watch us on Village Television or subscribe to the Village TV YouTube channel where you'll never miss an episode of Let's Talk Tech.
Movie for today is a John Wayne classic at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without subtitles, and it's called Rio Bravo, and that is brought to you by Providence Mission Hospital. Now, just a few announcements. We have the food delivery that's coming up on the 19th, and you can just drive on over to the United Methodist Church, drive through, get your groceries, and that's from 9 to 10:30, sponsored by the Saddleback Church of Laguna Woods. Then we also have the Jewish Food Festival coming up at the end of the month, April 30th, where there'll be tons of food to try and eat and buy. And then there's also going to be music and dancing, and that's going to be on April 30th from 5 to 8 p.m., Clubhouse 1 and the patio. Then we have Mother's Day. That's going to be here in May, of course. On May 14th, there is a Mother's Day buffet. Tickets are on sale now at Clubhouse 5. Prices are $34.17 and then free for children under 5. If you want more information about that, email recreation@vmsinc.org. And then, of course, Memorial Day is next month, and we are going to have a parade. It's going to be put on by the Laguna Woods Car Club, but they would like to know if you want to be in the parade with them. So it may, just the clubs, of course, but if you have a club that wants to participate, you can certainly call Paul at 323-528-1442 for more information about that, and that'll be on Memorial Day from 10 to 11. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather one last time before we head out. Things are looking a little bit still cloudy in the mornings, but we are going to clear to mostly cloudy skies, but we will see the sun. 66-51, 64-50, 65-50, 68-53, and 71-54. Have a great day in the Village. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Village Television at 9 a.m. And if you miss any of our programs, you can always go to our YouTube channel, Village Television, and watch all of our programming there. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Achieve a level of comfort you've never known before. The Daydreamer will take you through smooth movements and guide you effortlessly into your favorite positions. Adjust the power pillow for ideal support for your head and neck. This and our positioning technology allows for infinite relaxation. Lay back in zero gravity while watching TV and put your body and mind at ease. Lift your spirits and find your favorite daydream. Contact your local Golden retailer today.
At Healing Hearts Emergency Animal Hospital, we are dedicated to emergency veterinary care through high-quality veterinary services and compassion. We offer state-of-the-art diagnostics at competitive pricing. Our doctors will see and care for dogs, cats, and most exotics. In case of emergency, rest assured Healing Hearts Emergency is here for you when your primary veterinarian is closed. Open nights, weekends, and all major holidays.